we have a breaking update coming in. As we told you that the oil prices have plunged even more. We're learning that after US has announced a ceasefire, oil has slumped below $100 per barrel. Prices have dropped after the ceasefire announcement. Remember, just a while back, just 2 hours before the deadline was to expire, Donald Trump has now announced that there will be a 2-week-long ceasefire. Back-channel talks will continue. And in that backdrop, we're learning that the oil prices have plunged even more. And remember, in the last few days, as you can see on the screen as well, there were several attacks on the Gulf countries, a blocking of Strait of Hormuz that led to the significant increase in the oil prices. So on that, let me go across to my colleague Rishabh. Rishabh, do take us to, let me bring in, Srinjoy. Srinjoy, take us to how Gulf countries have reacted to this, because we have a reaction coming in from US, from Iran as far as the ceasefire is concerned. But this also concerns the Gulf countries because there have been several attacks on their civilian infra and, most importantly, their oil refineries in the last 1 month.
The Gulf countries were actually caught in the middle. You think of Saudi Arabia, you think of the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, all the countries. And what happened? Their infrastructure was attacked. As you rightly said, their desalination plants, their airports, their refineries, 2 at least, one in Saudi Arabia, one in Bahrain, were attacked. Sometimes there was debris because missiles were intercepted and the debris fell on parts of the city. So all those things happened. Also, there has been an economic loss in parts of the Gulf, like Dubai. Prices of property have fallen dramatically over this last 1 month. Also, the fact that the markets have shrunk. Footfall in malls have fallen by 45–50%. Now, that's a huge loss, a huge economic loss. But the most important thing is a sense of relief. The fact that they're not caught in the middle anymore and their lives can begin afresh. The fact that this kind of fighting has hurt Iran, of course, Israel surely, but also all these Gulf countries. It was in some senses unexpected. But once this happened, it became a very difficult situation. We know of a lot of Indians who were living in the Gulf and who flew back to India. So this is something that has affected the Gulf. It has affected the entire region. And we have, 9 million Indians in the area. They are working there, they are living there, they are earning a living there, they are sending money back to India. So all of this was interrupted. Now we have a ceasefire, and hopefully the ceasefire will last longer than 14 days. There is hope. These next 14 days will actually be a search for hope.
Absolutely. As you rightly pointed out, there is hope, there is sigh of relief, and it remains to be seen whether the ceasefire will sustain over the next 14 days and whether this will be extended, given that the back-channel talks will also continue. I'm also joined by our new guest, Sarah Clare, who is the foreign policy analyst, and also Sarah Spector, who's attorney and Democrat analyst. Coming to you, Sarah Clare, first, I want to ask you about your assessment of the ceasefire that Donald Trump has announced, but there is condition, he has said, that as far as Strait of Hormuz is concerned, it should remain open and completely safe for the vessels.
Is that for me?
Yes, please go on.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that there's a ceasefire, but I really don't know what we've accomplished in this war so far. To me, we haven't gained anything. If anything, we are less strong in the world. Our allies don't trust us anymore. We have shown Iran that they can successfully close the Straits of Hormuz. To me, they're in a stronger position militarily than they've ever been. And I'm glad that there's a ceasefire, but I believe that Trump basically had to do something to stop this war and save face. So he basically made this big bold basically threat to Iran that he obviously tacoed on. And now we are basically at Iran's throat. The world's gas prices are basically controlled by Iran now in the future. And it's truly scary. I live in the Permian Basin, which is where most of the oil is in the United States of America. And normally when prices go up for oil, there's a lot of activity in the Permian Basin because our investors, our oil companies will start drilling more and more and more. Well, that didn't happen this time because we don't trust Trump's foreign policy. Everything's so chaotic. They're not going to invest in reopening wells when we have such a chaotic presidency going on. And so we weren't going to make up for the prices, even though we could. So I don't really see, I think it's just really sad that we have 13 servicemen dead, hundreds injured. I just think it's sad that it came to this.
Absolutely. So it remains to be seen how this pans out, because last night was really tough because Donald Trump has said that he will be wiping out the entire civilization in Iran. And then we saw a ceasefire plan that he has now put out. But the condition is that the Strait of Hormuz should be completely and safely open for the vessels. So it remains to be seen what really happens as far as the key waterway is concerned. Stay on with us. We have another breaking update coming in. We're learning that attacks are continuing across the Middle